So I'm really interested about the process then of sourcing these elements. Do you have like any specific way of finding these things that you know you will include in an interior design piece?
It all depends on the project. You know, a commercial space is very different how we would design as opposed to an interior for a residential space. So for example, if you are doing a hotel somewhere in Bali, for example, right? You do need to give some cultural sort of expression of that space because of the weather. So the material you're using is different, you know. So all of that stuff come into play when you design in that process. So for example, if it's a hotel in Bali, you would use lighter material. You would use material that can help you block out, you know, for example, heat, you know, different ways of accommodating to the atmosphere and the space, as well as how people use the space. So all of that needs to come into play with just, you know, anything from picking materials to machineries that you're going to be using within the space, all of that.
So far, we've talked about identity, personality, and also the importance for you to make your style clear to the clients. But I was also wondering, how important would you say is it for you to keep up with the times and maybe just look at the current trends in design?
It's, you know, I don't say this enough to any designers or any people who want to go into the designer field. You really need to keep yourself up to date. I go to trade shows at least twice a year, sometimes 3 or 4 times. You know, we travel to Asia for their trade show. We've traveled to Europe for all the trade shows. Every year we do it. And we've been to Middle East for that as well. By the way, in Lebanon, they have amazing creative people. They make the best stuff there. And everyone is very creative and artistic. So you can find really great artisans. Turkey is another place. So, you know, you kind of just update yourself. You have to read a lot of articles. You have to see what's new in the market, what kind of innovative products they've come up with, especially now with COVID, you know, like we have to learn about all these new products that we sort of already have in the market, certain things like, you know, touchless faucets, UV lights that kills germs, all of these things. We need to keep ourselves up to date so that we can apply all of that for what's going to come now after COVID. You know, there are so many new things as designers. We kind of have to go back to the drawing board and kind of rethink how we design, you know, from personal space to certain materials that we're using that are more antimicrobial. You know, they have paint that are antimicrobial, all these things. So it's important to keep yourself up to date is what I'm saying. And you need to do it constantly every single year because every year new things come out and you just need to, you know, update yourself in a way.
Yeah. No, it's interesting what you said about how the coronavirus pandemic will have an impact on design. And especially because when I think about it, the pandemic was sort of a sudden thing, but you always have to be ready to kind of respond to it.
Yep. I mean, we are coming up with more and more things, even before COVID, right? All these touchless things have already been in the market for a while, but people don't use them because obviously they're a little bit more expensive because of the technology that they put into the research and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, but now you don't have a choice. You actually have to use them because this is the world we live in now. So yeah, it's important to always keep yourself